Hey guys, Marcello here from Wandering Trader. Today I have two locals, a birth local and a new local that moved here. And today we're going to be talking about things to know before visiting Mexico City. So don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment if you guys want to add anything that I didn't mention. Obviously, Mexico I think is such a big city, and this is something she mentioned in another video. It's such a big city and there's so many things to do that I can't talk about everything in literally 10 or 15 minutes. So the first thing I want to talk about is where to stay. So, and correct me if I'm wrong. So first of all, stay away from Doctores or Buenos Aires. So look for the barrio Doctores. It'll give you a little line on Google Maps. And don't stay anywhere near there.
Something I'll say that is really important is when you go to a city and you do not know where to stay, you look for center downtown. I would not stay downtown.
Yeah, that's actually a very good point. So in Latin America in general, you never stay downtown because it's the most dangerous normally parts of the cities outside of the places up in the mountains. So one rule of thumb is look where the Starbucks are at. That normally is the best place. Right here they have them in Centro, but that's generally a good rule of thumb. So I like Condesa and Roma. Condesa is a very, I'm going to use your words, European cafes, and there's trees everywhere, people walking their dogs. It's very, very nice. Roma's a little bit similar, but probably less European, right?
Yes.
So
less greener.
And less green. So I prefer Condesa. It's gonna cost you more, FY, but I prefer Condesa and Roma.
It's worth it.
It's worth it. Okay. Other than that, if you're looking to save money, you can stay a little bit outside of the city. Kat can share the best areas for that. One place that I'd actually recommend is around the World Trade Center. That's where we're at now at Rodrigo and Kat's house. So here it's probably at 30-40% cheaper, and it's still really central to anywhere you want to go, whether it's Condesa to go eat or Roma if you're going to go do the high life in Polanco. Polanco is going to be the most expensive or one of the most expensive places in the city. It's very fancy. Louis Vuitton stores, so if you're into that, that's where that is. And the other super expensive place, which is in the completely outside of town, it takes an hour to get there in traffic or more, is Santa Fe. So that's what I would recommend. You recommend Condesa too?
Yes.
What did you recommend?
Yes, I recommend Condesa.
The European recommends the European part of the city. So that's where to stay. Places to find apartments, Airbnb, rule of thumb.
Condesa, Roma, del Valle.
Del Valle is another place too. Flip Key is a new Airbnb type website, so you can look on there as well. How to get around, so I prefer Uber. I'm a bit fancy. Cat, however,
I like to walk, or to bike, or to take public transportation actually. It's a very cheap and sometimes the fastest way of getting around in Mexico City.
It's what, 20 million people? So peak hours is chaos.
Imagine 20 million people in public transportation.
Yeah, that too. So
In cars.
and she said that there's a dedicated cab for women, so you don't have to worry about, men.
Yes.
Men, they'll gawk at you, but they won't fill you up in the woman cabin. So that's the best way to get around. They also have Cabify, and Uber is legal here, completely legal, so there's no problems at all.
And cheap.
And very cheap, yeah. So we're here in World Trade Center. If we're gonna go to Condesa to eat or have some. It's gonna cost like $2, literally $2 or $3, probably a little bit less. So best time to visit, I'll let you cover this, Kat.
Yes, the best time to visit is, I would say, November, when rain season is over, or it's during spring, before rain season starts. Rain season is from June to October, generally.
So if you are going to be here June to October, just know it's going to rain every day at 5 p.m. for a few hours.
Exactly.
Just grazing rain. So if you're going to come during that time, wake up early and do everything in the morning, because it'll start raining at night, and that's when the city really gets to chaos. Anything else about best time to visit?
No, I mean, during summer especially, you can have all seasons in one day. So make sure to bring clothes for all seasons.
It's high up too, so
Yeah.
you said it's 2,000.
500 meters.
So it's generally colder in the summer. I've never been here in the summer. I don't think it gets too hot.
It's summer now.
Okay, so it's summer and it's raining every day, and I love it because it's literally in degrees Fahrenheit. It's about anywhere between 60 to maybe 72, 73 degrees. And in Celsius?
In Celsius is like 22.
Yeah.
I call it perfect weather because most of the time of the day you don't have to wear like a sweatshirt or anything like that.
And there's no AC. Most people don't have ACs, so you can leave the windows open and breathe that great pollution in the air. So not that dangerous. The media in the US makes Mexico look like a war zone, but this is actually a pretty cool city. I didn't like it when I first got here, but it's really eclectic, it's cosmopolitan. I live in Medellin, but I have a lot of friends that have actually stationed here because you have everything from kind of the local stuff all the way to the wine and the cafes that I like. So it's definitely not that dangerous. It's not as safe as Europe or the US, but it's definitely not the war zone that they paint it to be. I go out with my cell phone. I never had any issues. You've never had any issues.
No, never.
And she sticks out. Anything else about the...
You just have to pay attention because it's like every
Yes.
city in the world. That's it.
Exactly. Be careful.
There's a saying that they have in Colombia, no das papaya, which means don't give papaya like the plant. Don't just show off, you know what I mean? I've flown the drone, I've done things, I didn't have any issues, so, you know, FYI.
Illegal things.
Illegal things. Not a lot of English, so you're gonna wanna learn a little bit of Spanish. Don't trust them when they say it's not spicy, no pica or no picar. Avoid anything green, avoid anything red, and make sure you ask them, if you don't like spicy stuff, then try to order very plain things like burgers without, just a lettuce and tomato. Any recommendations on that? Because they've even tried it on, that isn't spicy at all, no. And it's really, really spicy. So anything on that?
You can find, when it comes to food, you can find whatever you like, everything. It's like...
Yeah, it's a very cosmopolitan city. The restaurants that you'll find here, there's a ton of French people here. So you have French cafes, French restaurants. In Condesa and in a lot of parts of Roma, there's these old, beautiful, historic buildings that are converted into restaurants. That's like the thing now. So it's the restaurants you'll definitely won't have a problem finding. I might give you guys a list that Kat will give me. Anything you want to add on that? Look at the smile. She's a little foodie.
You can find anything here. Yeah, that's true.
Anything you want to add?
About food, no.
Brunch, definitely try to come on a Sunday because brunch is off the hook.
Yeah.
I have to call to make a reservation though. So make sure you either have somebody make it for you or a door guy or a hotel, because otherwise you won't be able to get in the restaurants that you want to go to. The one that we went to for brunch is Huset.
Yes, percents.
So that's one that I'll recommend because we'll definitely go there probably on Sunday. So when you're buying on the streets, I think this is common sense, negotiate. What I always do is I try to bring down the price, and then when they give me their bottom price, I lowball them. And then I literally either just stay at that price or just do in the middle. So definitely negotiate hard, because when you look like her or me, they definitely will try to stick you a lot.
All the time.
All the time. So just to give you an example, I went to the Teotihuacan. I said it this time.
Yeah.
2 skulls, the lady wanted...
$80.
$80.
She wanted $80 and I got her down to $40 for both. So
And that was still expensive.
Yeah, if you want. and that was still. I gave her a little bit extra, but the really cool skulls I got, which were really nice. So museums are normally free on Sundays. So there's museums everywhere.
Actually, it's a city with most museums in the world.
There you go. So if you're looking to escape to a more European place that isn't as expensive as Europe, Mexico City might be an option. So don't drink the tap water. I recommend Fiji or Evian. For me, those are healthiest. Bring stomach medicine. Most of you guys that are either going to come to Mexico or Mexico City are probably not going to have good stomach situations. The tipping, 10%.
Yeah, and it's not included. You have to add it on the check.
They'll ask you cuenta cerrado, which means closed check, and you can say 10. I'll do a lesson on how to speak Mexican Spanish. So always normally 10% unless the service is atrocious. One thing I do want to let you know is it's not the same kind of service in the US. So just because they don't serve your plate immediately doesn't mean you leave them zero. And the last thing is Corona's not the national beer. Tacos is the national food, but not Corona's definitely not the national beer. That's all I have on my list. You guys didn't talk a lot, so why don't you guys, anything you want to add?
Yeah, I mean, tequila is the national drink. Mezcal also, really popular right now, actually.
If you go to have mezcal, they'll give you a lot of times little ants to eat, like fried ants.
That's true.
So you can try that. That's actually something really cool. Anything you want to add?
Come to Mexico City and visit it. Yeah, or you already said that. No, it's not that dangerous.
Yeah, it's really not that bad. I've done illegal. I launched the drone now in Centro. We asked the security guard after, he said you can't do it. We did it anyway. It's really not that bad, especially if you stay in Condesa or Roma or even the World Trade Center. It's Polanco, even if you guys want something a little bit fancy. It's definitely not that dangerous at all. I've never felt once like I was in danger. Ubers are legal normally in Latin America. A lot of times there's a lot of trouble with Uber. So here it's completely legal in Mexico City. Other than that,
I will say
and they pick you up from the airport without problems.
Yeah.
The Uber.
Yeah, I'll say that because in Mexico you can find it's so big, you can find whatever you want in any scale.
Yes.
yeah. So whether you want the high or the cheap $1 tacos on the street, you can find that as well. So I think that's it. Anything else you want to add?
No, that's it.
So come to Mexico City. Hopefully you'll enjoy it, and don't forget to subscribe.
Yeah, 'cause it's